Vishy, we've just had a major federal budget from the government. The idea of helping Australia get out of the recession that's been caused by COVID. You said to me that you felt this had great opportunity for CIOs. Can you sort of elaborate a bit more on that?
Absolutely. So, firstly, thanks for having me here. If you read the budget or if you watched the budget events, one of the things that struck me was the absolute focus on growth and productivity and not a defensive mindset. And that to me was really important because we were coming out of this COVID situation with growth and productivity in mind, not in a defensive mindset. So that's a starting point. Then you look at the environments over the last 6 months. What has really helped businesses transform or even survive is technology, right? So the fact that people are working remotely, that's only the starting point. But imagine the opportunity that it provides businesses to truly go digital. So I'm hoping 2020 is the year that gets known as when Australia truly went digital, and the budget is going to be a key enabler of driving that growth for us.
You're talking though about people should be emboldened in IT about what that's done.
Yep.
Is there a danger we could sort of get too assertive, because we've obviously got to bring people with us on that journey?
Yeah. So look, there's always that risk, right, of the people that truly believe and get it and drive change, and then those that need to be brought along. For me, it's fundamentally, the world is actually a lot more simple now. You don't have a choice. So earlier there was the semblance of a choice. We don't have a choice today. If we truly want to come out and grow, we need to provide customers, employees, stakeholders, governments, the business model under which this can operate. You only have to see the fact that retail has now had to re-platform significantly. And it's not just the first, it won't be the last. You look at airlines, you look at every single industry that's been impacted. So this has been the most democratic disruption that we've ever had.
Yeah, but
we need to come out of this.
You're also telling me about actually that you've got no choice. It's all digital, so just stop arguing the point and get on with it.
Yeah, it's no longer an if, it's a when.
Yeah.
Right? And the when needs to be sooner if you want to survive through this and grow out of this.
Now, Vishy, you've done a lot of work in the future of work, the concept of what the impact that COVID's had on what the office environment will look like, the workplace will look like.
Yep.
Could you share some of the findings you've had on that?
Yeah, so look, at PwC, one of the things we pride ourselves on is we live the purpose and we live the advice we give our clients. So one of the things our clients are asking us for is, what does the future of work look like? What is PwC doing? Now, we are a fantastic smorgasbord of what the true society looks like. We've got 9,000 fantastic people, we've got partners. So if we can get it right for ourselves, then we speak from a position of authority and experience, not just from advice, right?
Okay.
So things we're doing, for example, starting point is how do we engage our people first? So it's not about, we've had people onboarded in the COVID era, right? That means they've never met a single person from PwC. Their entire onboarding process has been virtual, and they're yet to meet someone physical. Our executive board have never actually had a physical meeting yet together. They're meeting virtually. So we've demonstrated that we can do it. Question is, how do we almost codify that and take it to clients? So the first is engagement. The second, obviously, is how do we actually define what the role of an office is in the future? So yes, we have a significant real estate footprint. So does that mean we don't need offices? No, that's not true. The office or a place for collaboration, coming together, social interaction, it's the unplanned interactions. So I go into the office once or twice a week now because it's not the planned interactions, it's the unplanned interactions that I really enjoy. So the second is, what is the role of a physical footprint, right? First is people engagement, the role of physical footprint. Third is, what is the nature of work? So fundamentally, if technology is augmenting a lot of what we're doing, where do humans and technology intersect? And that's really what we're trying to unpick. It's not one or the other, and that's what really sometimes drives me nuts when I hear people talk, technology is taking over the world. Humans still live in the world.
Yeah.
So it's the intersection between humans and technology that's going to drive the future of work, even more so now than ever before, because people are now embracing technology, whether they like it or not.
But you also said to me, don't take a one-size-fits-all. Everyone's an individual, so you've got to avoid having sort of blueprints to cover everybody. You've got to tailor it to people.
Absolutely, right. So one of the things, Peter, that we have been very fortunate, we poll our people every 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks. The data we get from that is a treasure trove of information, and some of it is fantastic, some of it is worrying, right? Because if you look at certain parts of the country that have been in lockdown for longer, the mental health impact of people that are working in their living room, the shared accommodation aspects of that. So for us, the future of work has to be inclusive, not just for those that are the extroverts that love to be there or the introverts. It's actually for those that truly need different ways of doing it. And then there's clients as well. So for us, the future of work is probably one of our biggest priorities as a firm, because we want to get it right ourselves, and then we want to take it to clients. And just given that we are in a CIO conference, it'll be remiss of me to point out that the role of the CIO in enabling the future of work has never been greater, right? And so that's something I hope we can unpack.
But Vishy, you get to areas, what's HR's responsibility? What's IT's responsibility? Are you nestling in on their, or wrestling in on their turf? Or how do you get the collaboration between those disciplines?
Look, it's a great question, right? And so for me, I'll give you the example of our upskilling journey. So we've been, as you know, we've been running our digital upskilling program over the last little while. We could not have done that without collaboration with our HR colleagues, with our learning and development. But it's a little different, it's learning and development on steroids, right? Because it's very much a pull rather than a push form of learning. You then look at the future of work. So for example, a tangible thing that we need to work on is, one of the benefits of remote working is people have a lot more time to live their lives personally. The pitfalls in the employment context is performance. Like, how do I know you're performing well? Because historically, you've been right under my nose as a leader. I know what you've been doing. Now you're working remotely. Are you out of sight, out of mind? And so it's really important then that the technology and human resources and the people and culture aspects need to work together to really position this. Because without a performance mechanism that rewards people regardless of where they work from, just having a capability to work remotely does not help, right? So you need to have those two hand in glove. And the last thing I think personally is the rewards and recognition strategies of a lot of businesses are going to fundamentally be challenged as a result of this. And we need our human capital colleagues to really step up and work with us on that challenge.
Well, Vishy, as someone of Indian descent with cricket in your DNA, you said to me, we've been bowled a full toss and we can really hit this for 6 in IT.
Absolutely. We've been bowled a full toss. Doesn't really matter whether it's a free hit or not. It's a full toss, so let's try and hit it out of the park.
Good stuff.